Let's start talking about some selections and transforms. If I go to my main toolbar, this is my select tool, this is my move tool, my rotate tool, and my scale tool. There are also some hotkeys for these tools. If you look at your keyboard, the Q, W, E, and R keys are in order. So Q is my select, which is already selected right now. W is my move tool, E is rotate, and R is scale. So Q, W, E, and R. To select any object in Max, you don't always have to be on the select tool. So right now, I'm on the scale tool, and I can simply select the word 3ds Max 2009 by selecting the object. To deselect any object, simply click outside. I'll go to the select tool again this time. I'll select the word 3ds Max 2009. To select multiple objects, you can just hold down Control and select the other object. And you can see training is selected right now. To deselect, click outside. You can also lock your selections just by pressing spacebar. So if I hit spacebar right now, you can see that this button over here got highlighted. So I'm hitting spacebar back and forth. What this does is the selection is right now locked onto this object, which means that I cannot deselect this object, or I can't even select the word training. So to unlock it, simply hit spacebar again, or just unlock it from here. Now I can deselect this object or select the word training. This is the select by name dialog box, and we will discuss it in a later movie. There are a bunch of buttons over here, and these are really useful for sub-object selections. Right now, just think about sub-objects as if we are going one level below the object. So if I maximize my front view by doing Alt-W, and if I hit Z to do my zoom extents, let's go really close to the letter, this little alphabet A. And right now if I go and select some of my points, I can simply select them like this. The reason it's, if you look at this right now, it's giving me a rectangular selection, is because my rectangular tool is on by default. If I keep it pressed, I also have a circular selection, like so. So everything inside the circle is getting selected. I also have something called a fence selection, which can be really useful. Right there. And double click to end the fence. Then I also have my lasso selection. And then finally, I have a paint selection. If I go back to my rectangle selection right now, you can add to selections by holding down Control. So you can see I'm selecting more points right now. To subtract from a selection, simply hold down Alt. And right there, I'm getting rid of some of the points over here right now. Let's close this. These buttons over here are really important, window and crossing, and you got to be careful about those because if they are selected, and if you don't know that this button's highlighted right now, this is what's going to happen. So let me just deselect it. What does this do? Let's see that. So I'm going to try to select these two objects, but I'm going to barely go right there. So right now I'm in a mode called crossing, so anything my marquee, my rectangular marquee crosses, it's going to select those objects. If I keep this button pressed, I can just go here, and now if I do the same thing, look how it's not selecting anything. That's because I'm in a mode called window, so only things that are inside of the rectangular marquee or the rectangular window, those are going to get selected. So right now if I drag a selection again, I can just go back and look at how 3ds Max 2009 was selected because it was inside that rectangular marquee or the rectangular window right there. Or same with training. What if I just go here and go halfway on training? You can see how training is still not getting selected. But if I go back to my crossing mode, you can see how even if I go this way, it's still both of them are getting selected. We will talk about the move, rotate, and scale tools in detail in the next movie.